Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
So many of us are going through so many different things nowadays, and some of us, even friends, family, have gone through addiction issues. Maybe they're recovering, maybe they need to, and you can help them because we're going to help you help them, and even yourself. Kathy Slagter joins us. She's with one Neigh at a time.com. And when I say Neigh, I do mean Neigh, like as in horse neighs. And there's a reason for that, because she uses horses to help heal people. And it's just phenomenal, the work that you do, Kathy. Welcome back. How are you?
Hey, thank you. Good. I have a horse out in my pasture that's laying down, and she's been down a lot. So I'm kind of hoping that a baby's coming today. So stepping away from that, but yet kind of peeking at her. So that'll be a fun and exciting adventure for the day. If she ends up foaling today, it would be a little early, so it's not expected. So she could just be laying in the sun.
Can't blame her one bit. And that'll make you a grandmother again.
Yes.
That horse give birth, a couple of weeks ago, right?
Yeah. Yep. Last week. It's a colt, and he's a week old, I think, today. So, or Sunday he was. Yeah.
Is that the one that's all black, if I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yep. Wow.
Yeah.
I have a ridiculous, we're going to jump in here. I have a ridiculous question, and this goes back to when I was a kid, and I never got an accurate answer. Can I ask you? It's a horse question.
Sure.
All right, don't judge me.
Okay.
Do horses sleep standing up?
Oh, they definitely do. Yes.
I always wondered about that.
Yeah. They can relax, I guess, their bodies so much. Yet they're still aware, like, I don't know if they sleep standing up so that they can jump into movement. Like if two horses are sleeping laying down, then there'll be a horse sleeping standing up, so that they can watch over their herd in some way or another. So they're still in protective mode. I don't think you'll ever have a time where every horse is laying down, unless, of course, they're in a pasture where they've lived forever here. But even here, I see many, many times one will stand up, one will lay down, and then they'll swap. So yeah. They must be able to relax as many as their muscles. And of course, they're, like we've said before, they don't have that crazy mind that we do. Meditating can be really hard for us humans to just stop that voice inside of our heads that the shame and the blame, or the what if and where am and what am I doing, and oh my God, I forgot this. And Can you imagine living in a space where you don't have to do all that? That would be, I think, wonderful. I wish I was a horse, which is why they're so powerful. Is I get them as a teacher for us to know that's my goal, is to be able to have more moments and to be totally aware of my thought process. And I heard from Tony Robbins that we have 60,000 thoughts in one day. Can you imagine? I've said
I can. And a horse.
Yeah, and they're not all positive.
Right.
How many of those 60,000 thoughts are your negative voice saying, oh, I didn't do this, I should do that, I can't believe I ate that, I can't believe I drank that, I can't believe that I'm doing this again, I can't believe so-and-so did that to me, I can't believe that idiot drove out in the driveway, or in front of me while I was driving. And there's so many thoughts of negative. I wish you could catch yourself going, wow, I did great today, and then replay that one. But you don't replay that. It was such a great day. I had so much fun, and I helped Steve get through this really hard time. And I feel so good about myself today, and so grateful the horses were there. It's like, I should have pointed this out. I should have asked them this question or that question. There's just so much that goes on between our head that it'd be great to be able to just say, it's a nice day out, I think I'll sleep standing up, but yet be aware.
And what you just said, Kathy, is probably the baseline, the foundation, those thoughts why so many people have addiction issues, because there's so much going on in our brains and there's so many things that we're thinking about, and we don't take that time for ourselves or even just to process what's going on. And
Right.
what I've learned from you in a few short weeks is what a horse is thinking and how they're so amazingly strong to pick up on your energy, and that's why they're used for healing. I never even thought that. I knew that they were beneficial to help people with challenges in terms of riding, but it goes so far.
Oh, yeah, very much deeper than that. Melissa Pierce says you'll never forget what a 1,500-pound horse has to say to you. And she's the teacher of Touch by Horse, which is where I'm certified under. And, if you're in a round pen with a horse, and let's say you came to me because I'm dealing with 3 people right now that have been through a recovery. They've had some good years. They felt the great feeling of not having to have a drink and to start visions and guides and plans for your lives and stick to it. And then something came up. For whatever reason, they backed away from all their things that they were taught. And usually it's a slow slide. Not always is it fast. Sometimes a big thing might happen and you might go and grab a drink, but usually you stop reading, you stop talking to the people that are in the program with you or in recovery with you. You stop maybe going to church for some people. You stop maybe meditating. You stop doing the next right thing. That's one of the big things is you allow your negative mind, you allow that stuff to just start telling you that, I don't know, you're no good. I don't know what would make you, when they say to me, what would make you drink again? I don't think it would be a circumstance. I think it would be a whole long list of things that I just gave up on. And giving up is building up on the things and the reasons why I should drink. If I give up on my recovery, then I'm giving strength to my addiction. That's Gestalt. That's an awesome thing for if you were to come and be in my round pen, that the awareness of what we're giving up, the awareness and bringing back what it felt like to be in recovery within one's body, along with the horse supporting you during that discussion with yourself. And it's an outward discussion because I'm there and the horse doesn't exactly know what you're saying, but he knows the power behind the words. Our experiences keep us in, our experiences keep us strong or they keep us weak. That it's up to us to make sure that it's the strong. So, if you're dealing with trying to step back into recovery, there's things that that you need to do, but yet you're not willing to do them. It's like whatever a horse neighs to you is not going to matter, which neigh is nicker and neigh, and that's how they talk. Whatever horse neighs to you is not going to matter unless you listen to what they say. And listening to what they're saying is like us, we have to listen to what other people that are in recovery know and have done. You can choose your own journey. I won't ever tell somebody, you need to go here and you need to go there and you need to do this. But choosing and giving great options and saying, what about this? And which one feels better for you? What can you do out of these 10 options? What are 5 of them that you say that you can do? That could be helpful. And, your job is to do those things. And many people get overwhelmed with their failure to, my failure to stop drinking, or someone else's failure, what they've done in between the time of recovery to drinking. And now they want to get back into recovery. But now there's this big space of crap, I messed up. I know how hard I worked to get into recovery. Now I got to do it again. Is it worth it?
Do you encounter that a lot from people that have recovered and then kind of fell back on their old ways?
I do. It's sad. It really is sad. And that is, if you ever watch a TV show and there's an alcoholic on that TV show, how many times does that alcoholic on the show, it brings up drama, of course, but starts drinking again when something bad happens? So what you have to do is keep yourself strong in your recovery. And even if you're just stepping into that recovery, you still have to have avenues and journeys and things in spot. You have to be talking to people. You have to feel it all through your whole body. This sobriety has to be a part of everything that you are. And that's hard for people. I got a job. I got this. I got that. I got to take my kids here. I got to do that. How do I go to how do I go to an AA meeting? Maybe it's an AA meeting, or they have a meeting with me twice a week or something like that. And they have something that came up. So what's the first thing that you cancel?
Yep.
Me. You don't go to your thing that's for yourself, because we do put ourselves last many, many times. And that just leaves us at the bottom of the back of the line for our own selves. Wow. If we're no good to our own selves, if we don't believe in our own selves, if we don't take care of our own selves, if we don't, read in the morning and watch something powerful or whatever it is, at least get a good start on your life. On your day, you can restart your day. You can notice that you're starting to fall down a hill and restart your day again, which is, taking a moment and just breathing in and saying, I am here, I am here, I am present. And that's what horses do. I'm present. I am in the here and now. What is my here and now? What does it look like? Well, today the sun is shining. Yay. It's starting to turn green outside. I have my beautiful pup sitting next to me. I'm guessing my big one's around the corner. I have a possible foal to be born today. The birds are chirping. I have a chime out there. If I just pay attention to all those wonderful, beautiful things, how can you not be a little grateful?
And I think, Kathy, it comes down to make the little things the big things.
Yeah.
Because we don't do that. And, guilty as charged. And on my journey, I never took the time for myself. Now I'm starting to more and more, but even those little things. And sometimes you get excited now, even about the little thing. Wow, I'm going to have chili for lunch. Woo. I haven't had it in a long time. That's going to be good. And I know it sounds maybe ridiculous, but it's those little things that move you along your path to some of those bigger things, but you have to travel that way. You can't just go from point A to point B.
Right. I have a sponsor. I have a sponsor, and I have sponsees. So I'm involved with the Alcoholic Anonymous program, and she taught me how to do a God walk, how to, when my moments seem like I'm stressed, even if I just have a moment to walk outside and breathe in air for a minute and say, kiss it up to God is something that we say too, is, taking a moment to recognize that I'm in my body, because so many times, like we said, the mind is just whirling and whirling, and you're starting to think of yourself as insignificant. And taking a moment to, like today, even walk outside and smell in the beauty. I mean, even the cold days, that fills your lungs and it makes you feel alive for a minute, all right, I can do this again. I can start over again. I can be, I can be courageous. And, stepping into recovery is very, very courageous. It takes a lot of strength. People think it's, I thought I was being weak. How about that? I thought I was being a very weak individual because of where I put myself into being drunk, but it took a lot of strength. I had to do it twice. I had to go into a recovery program twice to to get it. And, some people go into it 5, 6, 7, 8 times, but gosh, don't give up on yourself. And, there's so many different pieces and parts of ourselves that you're not aware of that are stronger than what you give yourself credit for.
Totally agree with you. I totally agree. And until you try to experience those things, you're never going to know. And that's why you need to take chances, the right kind of chances, to maybe push yourself a little bit more, to realize, yeah, I can do this. I got this. I have it. I have friends too that, going through different things, but they'll always keep themselves so busy, running all over that. But then that moment where they're not busy, which is going to happen at some point, then the realization, like, oh, I have an issue, whether it's addiction or whatever it might be, wow. And now it just came clear. And the flip side of that is what you just said, take that time, to have that time to experience life, to feel life, to actually feel present in the moment. Like you do, we talk about the horses.
Yeah. There's so many bits and pieces and parts of our life that all the experiences create who we are. If I were to knock you on the head and you broke into a bunch of little pieces, like, I don't know, like a kaleidoscope or something like that, where they're all beautiful little pieces. And every time you turn it a little bit, everything changes. And you can either, you can turn it, you can break it maybe by turning it the other way. And you get, I don't know, it just the other, like two sides. One side is all gray. If you mix too many colors together, you end up with gray, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And if you mix and just put the right colors and start creating you back together again, putting that kaleidoscope, that beautiful part of yourselves all back together again, just picking one piece at a time is it's powerful to become aware of our beautiful sides of ourselves. And if we're more aware of our bad sides of ourselves, you're more apt to fix that. You're more apt to look at it and say, what can I do to change this? If anger, let's just say anger, that's something that a lot of people deal with. If anger is something that you see yourself going to quite often, I'm pissed. Oh, I'm mad. Oh, I'm this. I can't believe that. You have all these moments. If you look at that in a round pen with a horse and you talk about what all that anger does to you, what does it do to your body?
Mm-hmm.
What are other things that you can say if anger is starting to rule your life?
It's so true.
Yeah.
And anger is the begin. Usually this is what I hear. Anger is the beginning of everything. And that leads to sadness. You're angry. That's why you're sad. You can't do the two usually without. You're angry about something, whether it's something somebody did to you, you did to yourself, something that happened. But then I guess the flip side of that, Kathy, is try not to be the victim, be the victor, no matter what it is. Why look what happened to me? Look, and of course you want to call your friends and bitch about things, and they're going to tell you what you want to hear. The horse isn't going to do that.
Right. No, for sure. If you want to be the victim, then, let's live in that space of what a victim feels like. What does it feel like when you're a victim? What happens to your body? What happens to your body when you're a victim, when you're angry, when you're mad, when you're resentful? That's a big thing. When I, resent what other people are doing, or even resent yourself of what you did. What happens to you when you're in that space? Do you have the energy to be a kind, loving individual to the person that is you're in a relationship with, or your kids or whatever? The answer probably is no. If you're that low on your energy, because that's what anger does, it brings, even though it's a lot, when you're done getting that all out, what do you have left inside of you?
So true.
It's tiring. It's tiring to be angry. And for somebody to have maybe that as an aha is one thing, but there's more. You get to say, how do I want to live my life? Where do I want my life to go? And then all of a sudden the anger will come back up again, and I'll have you go back over the anger, to live in anger again. And then you go to live in joy for a little while and go, wow, I kind of like this energy and this joy part of myself, gratitude, grateful, all these things that build me up. I mean, I can even say it and I'm building myself up, but then, go back into anger, and I can just feel the weight and the heaviness of what anger gives me. What a great conversation that is. And it's an in-depth conversation because you're having it with yourself. That's Gestalt, is you have it with yourself, with the horses and I giving you our own individual support around it. And, I said before, many, many times the horse will either move you to the energy of joy. It'll nudge you, might cut you off, might stand in the middle and say, you're not going to, and not even say it, but it just stands in the middle. And she's like, I can't even get to the other side. I can't get to the anger side. I have to go around this horse. Why does he keep standing in there? Why does the horse stand in the middle? Why does the horse not allow you to go over to that anger side?
It's amazing how the horse can pick up on that energy. I would love to just witness that. Just, just be on the side, just watching.
Come on out, Steve.
It's got to be so cool knowing that, the horse they've pared down everything going on in their life that they can focus on a stranger that just walked in the pen.
Right. Yeah. A horse won't live in that. Oh my God, I can't, even if they're starving, they're looking for their food. They're looking for the right thing to do, and they could be fuller than full and they're still looking for food sometimes. But, I do something too with addiction is I have a client hang on to a bucket of grain and she's walking around, and this is, why don't I get it? What is the addiction doing to me? Well, the horse is very, I'm going to say aggressive, but that's not, my horses aren't aggressive in that way, but they're pretty, they want that grain. They're determined to get to that grain, and they will walk next to you. They'll keep like nudging you. They'll put their foot, their mouth in the bucket. They'll, kind of move around you and try to get you to stop. They'll pester you while you're trying to walk and have a conversation at the same time. And you got this grain. So that's kind of like your mind and the addiction is where I like people to understand is, what do you get out of that? If the bucket is your addiction, or in the horse is your addiction and the bucket is your thing that you want, alcohol. And you're trying to live life while this is happening in the background. What's happening? What does it feel like to have something pester you so much or be so determined? What does the human have to do? And, they'll find their own way. I throw the bucket out of the round pen, oh, okay. That's a great thing. Dump it out. I don't know. Give it to the horse. You have a choice. You can give it to the horse. Give me the bucket. That's one thing. Figure out what to do to stop this pestering, which is what alcohol does to our minds, which is what, resentment and hate and all that kind of stuff. It can wear us down and be a pest unless we have the right words to fill ourselves back up, to give ourselves, to add those beautiful colors to the kaleidoscope. A kaleidoscope is nothing if it's all white and sugar or whatever it is, salt, but you add the colors to it and that's what makes it so beautiful. So you got to add the colors to your life. Otherwise you're going to end up with gray.
Yep. I wonder, when you're working with somebody, do they ever ride the horses?
I have put I especially put teenagers on the back of horses because it helps them to get out of the fact that they're here with a coach and they need to work on themselves. So it kind of relaxes them. It does relax them. It relaxes them. It gets their minds moving in a way that maybe they wouldn't normally do to somebody else. I've put I've had like walks I always do it in an arena. I never go out and about with it. But if I do that, I have to have a couple people with me, and they have to be very aware of the horse and the safety reasons for that too. So I always have somebody with me in the background watching the horse and making sure that I have all my attention on the client. But the other thing is somebody has to watch the client to make sure they're safe. So I don't always have somebody with me. That's not really what I do. I don't teach people how to ride, but I can teach you how to round pen a horse, and that's powerful in itself, getting a horse to move and then getting a horse to stand with you, come up to you from going around and around in a circle. And if you stop and have them come up to you and then you love on them and turn around and walk away, it's called connection. And they follow you around the pen, that's powerful for somebody that doesn't feel like they have a connection with somebody. What does it feel like to really connect with an animal, to connect with yourself? Connecting with self is that's gratitude. That's joy. That's, I'm happy with me. How many people say that? I'm happy with where I am. I'm happy with the choices that I'm making and all that. There's usually a but.
You're so right. I'm glad you said that, Kathy. When was the last time any of us actually said that about ourselves? Usually doesn't happen often. Or people that when was the last time you spoke to somebody? Hey, I couldn't be happier. Things are fantastic. Right. That decision I made, that was the best one I ever made. And that other one, you rarely even hear that. And why? And why? Think for a second. Yes.
You just hear the yeah buts.
Well, let's be honest. We all got crap going on. Let's throw it out there. Yeah. It's called life. I get it. But if you just take that second to find those little nuggets along the way and be positive about them, it's just a mindset where you're just kind of grooming your mind, just like, yeah, it's okay. It's going to be okay. Yeah, you got to continue on your journey. It's not, you're not just rocketing through, but just a little more positivity. And I guess, if the horse does that, for me, if I was in that pen, I would be fearful of that animal because I don't know anything about horses.
But what happens is you get so involved in your thought process, the animal the fear part disappears in the awareness of what you're thinking about. Though, like I said before, the horses can relax you too. So they might have put you in a state of mindfulness where you don't always get that.
Yeah.
Walking around in life,
And that 1,500-pound animal probably makes you forget about a lot of those things that are on your mind, because now you're focusing on this majestic animal that picks up on your energy, is a lot smarter than we all give him credit for.
Right.
Yeah. I want to tell everybody your website is one Neigh at a time, neigh.com.
Yeah, .com.
And you're
Kathy with a K, Kathy at one Neigh at a time.com. If you want to reach me through an email. And I've said before, my Facebook page, I'm always on there posting my beautiful horses and connection with humans and the babies, all those fun things. So it's a nice site to get a little joy in. So, come start the conversation with me. I'd love to chat with you and see what my horses and I can do for you.
Yeah. You want to change your life? Maybe get on a plane. And
yeah,
Kathy is.
Grand Rapids is not too far away. And we have a beautiful hotel, a little Holiday Inn Express. I don't know if anybody's been there before, but they're nice little hotels. It's only 15 minutes away from here. And lots of, the Airbnbs and all that kind of stuff, and lots of lakes around here. We have Lake Michigan that's close, 45 minutes from here. So there's plenty of ways to not only be with my horses and myself on this property, but to get away and look at nature, be in nature.
And heal.
And heal. Yes, for sure.
Kathy, great talking with you. Thank you for all the work that you do helping people out. And need to know if that horse is getting born today or not. Yeah.
Yep. I can't see her from my office here, but I will go peek as soon as I get off the phone. So nice chatting with you, and have a wonderful day. I hope it's sunshine in New York as it is in Michigan, and we'll see you next week.
It's not shining here, but it doesn't matter. It's okay.
Maybe tomorrow. It's coming that way.
Yep, exactly. By the way, with that horse, if you need a godfather, I'm right over here.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Catch up soon. Thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.